Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another journaling on a budget video. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to make page tabs, and all I have here, this is a scrap of some tea-dyed paper, and it's 3 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. So I'll have 2 strips that are 1.5 inches wide. Now these strips can be as wide as you want them. These strips being 1.5 inches wide is going to make my tabs 3/4 of an inch tall. Now you don't want your tabs too tall because you know they're going to stick out of your book. Choose which side you want on the outside and fold your strip in half. So I think that probably the biggest that I would make a tab would be about 1 inch. So then you would use a 2-inch strip of paper and fold it in half. But I really do like the 3/4. Some of them lend themselves more to being 1 inch wide. So I've got one here already folded, and we'll do this one up. We'll do this one on the light side, so we have some different looks. And the only thing that you want to do is however many tabs you're going to put on your pages that are the same, then you'll want those tabs to probably be the same width. So if you want 4 tabs, then make all 4 tabs 3/4 of an inch or an inch or however, whatever size that you want to make them. And then what you're going to do is you are just going to decide how long do you want your tabs. Now I don't really measure. I just say, oh, I want my tab about that long. And then I just hold that up to the paper again, and voila, now I have 2. And then what you do is fold them in half. Now you can buy punches for this and dies for this, but then they're the same as everybody else's. So, you know, I just like to have my own. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make kind of the standard tab. Actually, I think it's backwards to the standard tab. I'm going to start about in the middle, and I'm just going to go over a little bit and kind of round and go straight up. And there we go. Now that is my tab. It was that simple. And I'm going to do this one the same way, and because these are going to go together, I'm going to make 2 of each of some different shapes. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go like this. Just like that. And just like that. And there. Now I have 2 matching tabs. Now what I do is, remember that whatever is at the fold, that's going to be the outside of your tab, which is, I like the little part on the tab and the long part attached to my book. And then I'm just going to take some glue stick. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to show you was, I pulled out this glue stick and it was all dry. And so what I did was, I just sprayed it with a couple spritzes of water, and now I'm setting it aside. And I'm setting it upside down. I don't know which way you should set it, but I saw people say that when their glue sticks dried up, they do that and they let it sit for a day or so, and it's good. So hopefully I'll remember to tell you whether that worked or not. But I just pulled out a different glue stick. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the tab and just right at the fold, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and then fold it together. Now that's just a little bit of glue. It goes from here to here, probably 1/8 of an inch each side of the line. It's a very small amount, and I'm just going to do that. And that just attaches the top part of my tab together. To me, I just think that makes it a little stronger. You don't really have to do that. And you're going to glue it in on your page, so, but I just do that just like right at the fold, and then a little bit gets on both sides. And then I just do this. Now, if you find some tabs that you're like, oh, I just love this tab, I love the way it looks, then take one of those before you put it in your book, put it on one of your pieces of paper, and actually I would suggest doing it on cardstock and trace around it. And then you'll always have the shape of that tab, and all you have to do is put it on your folded piece and just do it as many times as you want to, whenever you want to. Now if you folded it and your fold is a little bit off, then just go in and trim it, but it doesn't really matter because 1/2 of this is going to be on one side of your page, the other half is going to be on the other side of the page. So if there's a little bit of being off right here, it really doesn't matter. You can trim it I do just because I do, but you really don't even have to. So, and then what I do usually is I just go ahead and I like to edge them. And you can edge them in any color that you want to. I like brown, especially with the tea dyed. And this is just one of our homemade pads that we did in the Build Your Stash series. But just go in and edge it. And I just love the way that that makes it look. Now, if you were doing this maybe with a pink piece of paper or something, you may want to edge it with red or with pink, or, you know, a blue piece of paper, edge it with blue. Or you can edge anything in brown, as far as I'm concerned. But I just like the way that this looks. And then if you want it to be even more distressed, you can just kind of very lightly just kind of go in and just kind of touch it here and there. You don't want it to be like real solid or anything, but just put a little color on there. And then that kind of just makes it a little, and I'm just barely touching it. And there we go. So then it goes from looking like this to looking like this. And I like the looks of this better. So you'll just edge it, and now you have 2 tabs that you can put on a book. You can make as many of those as you want to go in your book. And then let me just show you some more, because the thing is that you don't have to have tabs that look like everybody else's. You don't even have to have tabs that look like what we have here. You know, you can just make them however you want to. So let's take another one, and let's make this one a little bit shorter. Let's do 2 of those. And then I like to fold them in half so that they're symmetrical. And then let's just say for something super easy, fold it in half, snip off the corner. And voila, there you have another tab. So I'm just going to take my other piece that I cut, I'm going to put that one on there, and now I have 2 matching tabs. Put a little bit of glue stick in the middle. And again on this one. And there we go. So now we have 2 that look like that. Okay, so then let's take this one that we've already cut. And let's cut one that same length that's a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take just one, fold it in half. And so on this one I'm going to, let's see, we'll just kind of start here, and we'll make just a little rounded in, and then go up about 1/3 of the way, actually 2/3, and then over, and then up. Now remember, your fold's at the top, you can't cut that whole thing off. And then up, and just round just the corner so that you don't cut off the fold. Okay, and now we have a tab that looks like that. And then we can just take this one and put it on here and make it look the same. And you could fold them both in half. You could fold this one in half and draw the lines on there and then cut it out. You can do it however you want to do it. Hang on to that a little bit better. And there. So now we have 2 tabs that look like that. And again, just glue up by the line on both of them. And that's 3 styles of tab. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Let's do another one. Cut it that length and cut another one. See, the thing is the length can be whatever length you want it. Let's say you have a book that you want a whole bunch of tabs in. You can make your tabs a little bit shorter so they don't overlap as much. If you've got a book that you only want to have 3 tabs in, but you want them to really span across the page, make them a little bit longer. So let's see. Then you can just do a rounded top. Now remember, the top has a fold. Whoops. Now it's sticking. I got glue on my finger. Fold it in half. Remember not to cut your fold off. And just come up the side. And just make it just rounded. Come off the top before you cut the whole fold off. And now it looks like that. So we can just put this one on here and we'll have 2 of these. So see, you can just make them any way you want to. This is just 3/4 of an inch tall. You know, the taller that your tab is, kind of gives you a little bit more room to make something, you know, to give a little more dimension to it. But now these ones, they're like that. Now if you accidentally were to cut that off, you could always just go in and glue the top together. I mean, we're gluing them anyways, so you don't have to have that fold there. And there we go. I'm going to show you this one, if you can see it. There is, the bottom one is a little bit taller than the top one. So I could trim that off if I wanted to, but when it's on the other side of the page, nobody's going to know there's a 1/16 of an inch difference there. So I've got 4 different shapes there. And I have done some of these before. So I kind of have some sitting over here to the side just so I don't forget what I did. But we'll just make another one here because we've got round and square and square. And I kind of think of these like cloud shaped. So let's make a triangle one. And with the triangle one, I am just going to, oops, fold it in half. And go straight from the outside corner up towards the top, but remember to leave your fold. And there we go. Now we have a triangle shaped one. And these ones are going to be, the folded part is what is going to be seen on the outside of the book. And then you're going to glue it down in here. I'm just going to line that one up. And see how easy it is and how you can just make them any way that you want to make them. So now we've got the cloud-shaped one with 2 bumps. You can do it with just 1. And so just kind of come up and round in right about the middle. Oops, and then curve out and give it a little bit of a round at the top. Did you see what I did? I stacked the 2 together, but I didn't fold them in half, and there's no way I'll get this side to look exactly like this side. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this around and then just, I'll have this one's cut on this end, so I'm going to cut the one behind it. And then I'm going to flip it over because the other one's cut there. So cut the one behind it. And there we go. So now we have that shape. And you can always do it that way if you don't want to have a fold in the middle of your tab. Now these don't really show up much. And this is the one that shows up the worst. But if you don't want to have a fold, just do one side. You like the way it looks, then flip it over and do the one behind it. I cut my finger. I got a paper cut earlier. That must be where that came from. Sorry about that. And then do that. And now we have that shape. So now we have all of these shapes. One thing I was just wondering is if you could do a heart. I'm just not so sure how easy that would be, but let's see. If we fold it in half, let's see. Start at the point and round it until you get to the top, but don't go all the way around. Stop right there, then come in and kind of start here, round a little bit more, and then put in a point. See how that looks. And there we go. Even if you want a heart tab, let's do a second one of those, because I don't like to have just one. I always like to have two. But that's pretty cool. I hadn't even thought of that before until I was cutting one of these and I thought, oh, maybe. I think I'm in a heart mood lately. Just go in and do this center part. And there we go. This one didn't get rounded as well. I'm just going to kind of fix that. There. So this is how you make your own tabs. It's just that simple and that easy. And then, you know, the way to put them in your books, you just do the middle so that they're all the middles are done. Let me see, I've got this one is already okay. I have this page from a while back, and I am just going to take my tab, put some glue on this side, and put some glue on this side. And then I'm just going to, now you can leave this part that's cut off the page a little bit. I like to put it all the way on the page. You can put it further down the page if you want to, so that your tabby part is not sticking out as far. I just like to make it kind of straight. And there we go. There's your page tab, all attached, all distressed, and all ready to go. And then that can just be in your book like that. See how that sticks out just a little bit? I love my tabs to stick out just a little bit. So that is how you make page tabs. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I love making these. I just said, I'll show you here. Here are some that I have done. I just do them at night when I'm sitting in my chair watching TV. And so these are all the shapes that I just showed you how to make also. So there's that one. And that one. And I always do them in twos. I really don't know why I do them in twos. I just do. And that one. And this one. And then today we did the heart. Whoops. Still got glue on it. So I really hope that you liked watching this video. And I hope that this helps you to have tabs for your books. I looked at a tab punch. It was quite expensive. And it was kind of, to me, it was like you punched it out, but you had to be really careful to either fold your paper in half and then not actually punch the whole thing, or you were only punching half a tab. So that didn't make any sense to punch just one piece of paper like this and put it on the page. I wanted it to fold over. So I decided just to make my own. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.